Welcome back to the channel, everyone. And as a guest, we have Dr. Jeffrey Ruterbusch. Welcome, Jeffrey.
Great to be back, Stephen. Thanks for having me again.
So, can you discuss certain exercises to strengthen the bulbocavernosus muscle, like the Kegels, for example? Are they useful in preventing or treating erectile dysfunction? And are there other things people can do for exercises? Cardio, for example, things to strengthen the pelvic floor muscles like hip thrusts or squats. So, what's your take on these exercises?
PRT and hormone optimization channel. I was on the channel before, so I've been following the channel, watching it every now and then. So be sure to check them out.
Consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, and you'll be on your way.
As having an advanced degree in sports medicine and exercise physiology, I've had taken courses, so to speak, in lumbopelvic exercises and how to assess the success of these exercises using ultrasound, believe it or not, or surface electromyography. My master's program in exercise phys, I was exposed to a lot of surface EMG studies. And we used a book called Evidence-Based Physical Therapy for the Pelvic Floor, which is I'm getting a lot of my information from. And yes, most people think that Kegels exercises or Kegels maneuvers are mainly for female sexual function or dysfunction. But in reality, there's been many studies come out of Mayo Clinic in particular that do show the benefits of said Kegels exercises to strengthen the floor, the lumbopelvic region of the male. Let's see here. Got my notes. So yeah, and just briefly, when you do a Kegel maneuver, let me describe what that even is for a man. If you were to urinate in mid-flow of your urination, squeeze those muscles that stop that urine flow, and then hold that for 3 seconds, and then release urine again, and then do that. So I'm not saying stop your urine flow. I'm just saying you use that to understand which type of maneuver you have to do to mimic a Kegel maneuver. So it's the same thing as stopping your urine mid-flow. Another way it was explained to me is if you were to hold your flatus, exactly, you have gas and you want to hold that gas in, those are comparable lumbopelvic muscles that you fire to do so. So once you figure out how to do it and what it feels like by using your urine flow and stopping it and figuring out, how you did that, then you could just mimic those same types of motions. And it's like an exercise course. In other words, you want to do several sets through the course of a day. You want to squeeze down for 3 seconds and then release it for a few seconds and then squeeze down again. You do several sets of that through the course of the day. And that is how you do a Kegels maneuver for men. And that has been shown, believe it or not, to improve sexual function in men. And I have a textbook here, it's very current, called Male Sexual Dysfunction, a clinical guide. And in there, it describes how to do these and how important it is for male sexual function. So again, it was an easy request for me to dig back into my exercise phys notes, what I learned overseas when I was in, the Middle East, and through now my board certification in, men's sexual health or sexual, health, and women too, but males we're talking about today. So right there, it's in the book. Just get the book and read it, and it tells you how successful these are. Now, you mentioned other things you can do. Well, of course, cardiovascular endurance, aerobic training is going to increase blood flow to all parts of the body. And if it's going to increase blood flow to all parts of the body, well, it's going to increase blood flow to your penis and your male sexual organs. So that too can help with your bedroom performance as far as men.
And the exercises that you normally do during resistance training workouts like hip thrust and squats, do those work too?
Yeah, according to my exercise, remember I was in graduate program, well, a while back, but we studied these things using surface electromyography. And it's been shown that just the usual motions of a squatting, you're going to increase intra-abdominal pressure. And what does the body do to compensate lumbopelvically for an increased intra-abdominal pressure? Is strengthen the lumbopelvic floor. Mm-hmm. And these are measured. I learned by ultrasound, using ultrasound measurements, you can ultrasound muscles in the pelvic floor and measure the girth of these muscles. And of course, if you exercise these muscles, they're going to show some hypertrophy. And we, back in the day when I was, a postgraduate student, we were able to show that with frequent exercise, we could increase the girth via hypertrophy, the muscles in the lumbopelvic floor. So scientifically, we can prove it on just taking measurements, ultrasound measurements of these muscle bellies and measuring them.
Before we continue, if you appreciate the content we bring to this channel, check out the Amazon links in the description of this video. These are the links to the products we use, going from supplements, protein powder, pre, post, intra-workout, anti-aging cream, sunscreen, needles and syringes to inject, and so on. If you'd like to purchase one of those products, please use the direct link so that it will earn us a few cents as a tip, and you'll be guided directly to the products we recommend. Thanks in advance.
All links should work on the US, Canadian and UK Amazon stores. Alright guys, well, do this next. Click on one of these thumbnails to learn a ton more about TRT and hormone optimization. Thanks.